voiceamerica.com.
Welcome to Crime Prevention 101 with host Susan Bartelstone. We're so happy you've joined us this weekend. Over the next hour, you'll learn the tips, tricks, and vital information that'll help you keep yourself confident and safe. Now, here's the host of Crime Prevention 101, Susan Bartelstone.
And hello, everybody. And welcome to Crime Prevention 101, and it is such a joy for me to be with you today. And this is going to be a very special show I've got today. I know I say that, but this is an amazing show. This is the third show that I'm doing on non-traditional methods of healing from the consequences of crime and violence and any kind of trauma. And the reason I'm so excited is because this show today is about healing with the support of others through the creative arts and creative pursuits. And this is an interesting format for me. It's not one that I've done before, but today's show is actually being recorded live at the Healing Through Creativity Survivor Art Festival, which is held October 10th through 19th. At West Virginia State University. So you're going to hear noise and goings on in the background, and that's because we're right there down in the trenches with the guys at the festival. Now, this very special festival, this is organized by a wonderful group called Healing Through Creativity. And at this festival, trauma survivors and their supporters are invited to share their art and music and poetry and films and other creative forms that they are involved in and help each other heal as well as themselves. And by the way, if you didn't get a chance to hear my other two shows on the non-traditional healing, you may want to check them out by going back into my Voice America archives on my Voice America host page. The first one was Healing Through Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprocessing. That's EMDR therapy. And that show aired on September 20th. And the second one was Healing with Self-Defense. And that show aired on September 27th. So those are two more non-traditional methods. Now, I want to introduce to you my first guest, who is George Roberts, and he is with the Healing Through Creativity organization. And then we are actually going to have some of the participants at the conference come and tell you a little bit about their stories and share a little of their art with you. George, welcome so much to Crime Prevention 101.
Hi, it's glad to be there. We were kind of sharing the phone here, listening, with everyone with their ears.
That's great. Now, George, on your website, healingthroughcreativity.org, you say, healing through creativity helps us to end the need for silence, the feelings of abandonment, and the undeserved guilt often felt by survivors. Would you please tell everybody a little bit about yourself, as much as you care to, and how Healing Through Creativity came about?
Okay. A lot of this is pretty painful, but
share only as much as you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay. I just happened to walk into the wrong place at the wrong time and was brutally assaulted. And then right after that, I just kind of wanted to pretend it didn't happen and ignored it. And also, I wanted some revenge, which I never got, but glad that I didn't, truthfully. I started to get panic attacks and things like that. To cut a long story short, and after finding out I was physically okay, then I was told that I would need help because of what I'd gone through. And I said, no way. But basically panic attacks and like losing weight even over it, and it's just burning up on the inside. I finally had to go for help, and after not getting really much help from the system, I suggested an art festival, and basically that didn't happen. So I just took it on myself to have that happen, and then I met a series of people, some of whom you're going to meet here on the phone today, like the nice person that actually does our website and has helped with so many other parts of the festival. Through sharing with others and doing peer therapy, I've really gained a lot of strength, and I've learned so many things, some of which did start in counseling, like learning that I really wasn't responsible for something that I could not have had any say over anyway. But it's not uncommon for victims to take on what's called undeserved guilt. And you just feel like, well, it's something that I did that caused this to happen. And
very important point, George. Very important.
Many of those things that seem so obvious to a person that hasn't been through it or to someone that's farther along happen. And it's not just to me or to most people. It's probably something that is very universal. Many of the things that we've gone through are not unique to any one type of trauma. So in Healing Through Creativity, what we wanted to do is open this up, and it's open to all survivors. So it doesn't matter who you are, what your beliefs are. As long as you're not being abusive to someone else, you're welcome. And any trauma, it doesn't matter what happened to you, and it may be something that some people might not even think it's trauma, but more than likely, if it made that person feel that way, then it definitely is. And there's many things in life that, if you haven't experienced it, well, it doesn't seem so bad. And then there are some things that are unspeakable that happen. So if people want to remain anonymous at this, they can. The other thing is it's every creative media. So, it's not just, a certain style of art or anything like that. It's all. And if someone comes in with an idea of something different, we will make it happen.
Now, how long has the Healing Through Creativity organization been in existence?
We've been planning for a little bit over 4 years, and we're on our third festival. We took more than a year to produce the first festival, and this is our third annual.
Fantastic. How many people are at your festival this year?
I would estimate it's probably more than this, but about 1,650 so far have viewed the artwork and stopped in and read it and attended performances and so forth.
And these are not just people from the West Virginia area, correct? I mean, this is you getting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say you get people from all over, right?
Yes. The farthest away would probably be Perth, Australia, and that would be followed closely by Johannesburg, South Africa. We've got people from California, Florida, New York, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and North Carolina, probably a lot of other states as well. So if I left your state out, let me know about it, okay?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this show, George, because I want people to know about healingthroughcreativity.org. And they can come to, you have forums, you've got all sorts of things on the website that are helpful to people, correct?
That's right. And there are links, too, that will help greatly. We grew out of an organization that's from New York City, and that's called After Silence, which is a message board for survivors of sexual assault and abuse. And one of the sections within their message board is called Healing Through Creativity, and we actually took their name. And we linked to them, and, they're highly recommended. They're extremely caring people there. It's a well-organized, well-run site, and you will find friends, and you will find people that understand what you've been through and can point you in the right directions.
And I'm actually going to...
Oh,
I'm going to put a link to www.aftersilence.org on my host page so people can find them very easily. Sorry, George.
That's okay. What I was going to say, though, is that if I had had exposure to their information before experiencing trauma, it would have made a big difference. Mm. And, that's one of the things, too, is that you don't have to wait for something bad to happen to you. Coming to something like Healing Through Creativity or visiting websites that support survivors is supportive. And it's very much appreciated. And when something happens to one person, it goes through a whole network of people. So, many, many, many people are affected by a single act. And if we can start to prevent these and even go further than that, think of all of the productivity, and lives that will be helped.
That's right. Absolutely. And this is not just for survivors. It's for families and supporters and friends and everybody else, because everybody's life is affected when someone else becomes a survivor. So that is extremely and a really important point. Now, George, I was looking over the schedule of the festival, and you've got some really interesting workshops. I'm seeing art and healing, music and healing, of course, journaling, and lots of creative writing things. We've got an internet and healing workshop. I thought that sounded so interesting. And you got...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm long-winded. Go, jump in.
Ask the next person, too, that you're going to speak to, who's going to be Tracy, about that, because she led that workshop.
Great. Okay, I'm going to make my little note on that. Now, I see you also have dream interpretation workshops. We've got some documentaries, right?
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injury workshop.
Yeah, that was very good.
Games we play, masks we hide behind. I think that sounds extremely important. You've got a depression and bipolar support group. How teens react to loss and guilt. I think that must be incredibly helpful. You've got also Surviving Jane, how to get published. And this is amazing. All right, George, we're coming up on our first commercial break, so let's hold the thought. When we come back, we're going to introduce just our first guest. So hold that thought, everybody, and you all stay tuned out there.
News, opinion. Your voice counts. Call toll-free 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787. VoiceAmerica.com. After more than 17 years' experience teaching safety skills to thousands of women and men, crime prevention and personal safety expert Susan Bartelstone concluded that by thinking and responding quickly, ideally within 20 seconds, potentially violent criminal encounters can be prevented. Using techniques from many different disciplines and illustrated by 60 real-life examples and success stories, Susan shows how it's done in her new book, Think Fast and Prevent a Violent Crime, How to Respond to Danger in 20 Seconds or Less. Check out www.fightsafe.com for more information. You'll also find information there on Susan's upcoming Crime Prevention 101 personal safety teleseminars. Think fast, talk fast, fight smart, which stress the many opportunities you have to deter or defuse a criminal encounter and how to use your brains instead of your muscles in a fight. Look for the new book information or sign up for Susan Bartelstone's personal safety seminars at www.fightsafe.com today.
Adding fractions is nothing.
For real?
Look, these are denominators. You multiply this one so that it's the same as that, then you add them up.
Man, that's easy.
Charles Bennett dreamed of returning to the old neighborhood as a teacher, but without money for college, only half of his dream came true. He's back in the old neighborhood.
Well, enough math. I gotta deliver these sandwiches.
Please support the United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. A message from the UNCF and the Ad Council.
Have you ever thought about having your own internet talk show? Well, if you said yes, then click About Us. Then click Be a Host to get more information. Or just call Jeff Spenard at 480-294-6417.
Say that again?
480-294-6417. VoiceAmerica.com.
You're listening to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone. We invite you to share your stories, tips, or suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, and Susan will address some of these on future shows. Send your story or idea to solutions@fightsafe.com. That email address again is solutions@fightsafe.com. Now back to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone.
And welcome back, everybody. And I am speaking with George Robertson, because I kept getting his name incorrect, from the Healing Through Creativity Workshop, Festival and Organization. And we are recording this live at the Healing Through Creativity Art Survivor Festival being held at West Virginia State University. And George, why don't you introduce the first guest who's going to talk a little bit with me?
Okay. Our sponsor here is really not West Virginia State University. It's West Virginia State Community and Technical College, and the Community Behavioral Health Technology Program is very instrumental in this. So I wanted to give a plug for them. And also thank you for having Healing Through Creativity, on this. We're very glad to be part of the great work that you're doing. And our first guest is Tracy, who is also our web creator. So I'm going to hand her off right now.
Okay. And welcome, Tracy. It is so wonderful. Thank you so much. Tracy, if you'd like to just talk a little bit, whatever you feel comfortable with telling about your story and how you came to this place, and tell me about Internet and Healing, your workshop.
Okay, I've been helping out with Healing Through Creativity for about 3 years. I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse by my father. This happened about 23 years ago, and it lasted for about 6 years. And then I promptly forgot it because it, for what I thought, it didn't really matter in my life. Unfortunately, when I was about 26, I started having a lot of severe problems, and I went to a counsellor who specialised in childhood sexual abuse, and she asked me were my nieces, I've got two female nieces, were they being abused as well? So I sort of had to go out and tell the whole family because I was concerned about my nieces who were 10 and 8 at the time. And then, I found out that all of my sisters were basically abused in different ways. And also, not only that, but childhood friends as well. So he not only abused me, he abused the rest of the family. This is my father. Mm-hmm. And, so basically I went out, after going to therapy, I went out on the internet, and the website that George mentioned before, which is After Silence, I found that after a fair amount of time, and I volunteered for this event to create the event website because I'm a website designer. Mm-hmm. And so the website that is now up there with the forum is something that I lead. And I also get help from a lot of people in California and Australia Actually, 2 people in California help me, and somebody in Maryland helps as well. And we get other volunteers who are only online volunteers, so who are anonymous and can't come to the event or don't want to reveal their name, and they can help out anonymously on the website as well.
And tell me a little bit about the workshop. What will you be doing in the workshop?
I've already held the workshop. It was an internet and healing workshop. I basically there's a number of sites for survivors of sexual abuse, and we talked a bit about the different sites. There's also chat available, online chats that are available where you can talk to other survivors of sexual abuse, male and female, and you can chat to them, because it's very hard to find people to chat to in real life. It's when you're sexually abused or sexually assaulted, it's not something you bring up in conversation. So we've got it on our website as well. So there's chats, real life chats, where they talk about their story and talk about therapy and what you can do as well. That's what I covered in the Internet and Healing. Also, this year we've received videos for the event, which is the first year, the YouTube videos, and we showed those as well. And there was also a small video from a disabled person in Alabama, who had gone, whose team had gone to the Beijing Olympics, and we showed that as well. And this has been displayed on the walls as well, so for people to look at as they went past.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And
yeah,
the internet is really a healing tool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And there's if you go to our website, there's websites that deal especially for male survivors, because it's a lot harder for male survivors. It's hard to find help for female survivors, but it's a lot harder for male survivors. So there's links on there for males and females, and also teenagers are welcome too. I've spoken to teenagers who are actually in the abuse situation. So they're at home and they're being abused daily or nightly, and they need help for that as well. And they might not be able to speak to anyone except people on the internet because it's anonymous. Mm-hmm. You know, you just make up a username. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see actually how really helpful that the internet, what a great tool that could be.
Yes, and people publish books as well. There's a lot of they publish books about the topic, and you know, that they have radio shows similar to this one that we're on. So there's also, with the event, there's been a lot of contact from these type of organisations as well. You know, people doing art books, and you know, that have contacted us as well through the website. So, and there's a lot of people visiting these websites, and you don't have to actually post on the website. You can just read, and because it's very hard to post, and they can just go and read the website. They don't need to post, and they can read the information, and because it is scary to even go and visit these if you're a survivor.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can go there without exposing yourself to anything.
That's right.
And
that's right. And just read.
This is fantastic.
And there's also book that on our site. There's also books. There's books out there that deal with sexual abuse and sexual assault, especially for survivors, and we've got book lists on the website as well. So if they're not into the internet, they can read books as well.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. You know, I would love to. Now I'm going to be posting a link to healingthroughcreativity.org, but if you've got a list of websites or internet places.
If they go on our website, all of the sites that I've mentioned, and there is more. There's also another one called Pandys, which is at www.pandys.org. That's another survivor site. And the male survivor site that I was speaking to about is www.malesurvivor.org. And they're the ones that specialise in males, and they have a chat room as well, and that's run by therapists. That one, the other one, our one is run by survivors who care. So they're moderators, and so that's on our website. You will find that, and as I say, book lists, links to people who, if they want to create a book and they want people's stories, they ask us. So if they want to get their story published, or if they just want to chat to people or connect with people, they can go to this as well. So that's all on the website as well as other things. We just do a general chat. There's a lot of artwork. People post artwork. And their music videos, and because it's based around art as well. But you don't have to be an artist as well. You don't have to be an artist to be involved. You can just have a look.
That's fantastic too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would if there's an easy way for you to shoot me some of these websites, I'd love to also post them on my own website. You can email me solutions@fightsafe.com, and I would love to have some resources on my website for people.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to be linking to healing through creativity as
and
well.
Just for people who might be listening to this radio show and who may never have heard of all this information and the fact that they can get help, they're not alone. There's many, like the statistics on this is like, for women, 1 in 3 women will experience some form of rape or sexual abuse or sexual violence, including like touching, unwanted touch. And the same, I've heard 1 in 6 men and 1 in 10 men, so it's it's not talked about in society, but it happens all the time. I generally go up and speak to a person and they'll tell me something that's either happened to them or happened to some member of the family or someone they know. So they're not alone. And you can go out and get help as well. Yeah.
That is one of the most important messages that we're going to people today.
Yeah.
Today, Tracy, thank you so very much. I think we're coming up to another break. So I'm going to tell everybody out there, don't go away. We're going to be back very shortly.
Ask the experts. Call toll-free right now, 1-866-472-5787. And ask our All-Star team to answer your question. That's 1-866-472-5787.
Thank you for calling.
VoiceAmerica.com. After more than 17 years' experience teaching safety skills to thousands of women and men, crime prevention and personal safety expert Susan Bartelstone concluded that by thinking and responding quickly, ideally within 20 seconds, potentially violent criminal encounters can be prevented. Using techniques from many different disciplines and illustrated by 60 real-life examples and success stories, Susan shows how it's done in her new book, Think Fast and Prevent a Violent Crime, How to Respond to Danger in 20 Seconds or Less. Check out www.fightsafe.com for more information. You'll also find information there on Susan's upcoming Crime Prevention 101 personal safety teleseminars. Think fast, talk fast, fight smart, which stress the many opportunities you have to deter or defuse a criminal encounter and how to use your brains instead of your muscles in a fight. Look for the new book information or sign up for Susan Bartelstone's personal safety seminars at www.fightsafe.com today. Talk. That's all we do is talk.
Yeah!
If you'd like to talk, call us toll-free right now at 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787. That's it. VoiceAmerica.com.
You're listening to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone. We invite you to share your stories, tips, or suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, and Susan will address some of these on future shows. Send your story or idea to solutions@fightsafe.com. That email address again is solutions@fightsafe.com. Now back to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone.
And welcome back, everybody, to Crime Prevention 101. And I'm here talking with George Robertson from healingthroughcreativity.org. And we're down at the Healing Through Creativity Art Festival. George, we have another guest coming up to talk with me. Who would that be?
Yes, we have Sumner Erickson here.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
He's from Sumner Erickson.
Okay.
From the great state of Texas.
Okay, very good. Sumner, are you there?
Hold on, I'll put him on.
Okay.
Hello?
Sumner?
Yes.
Hello, and welcome. This is Susan Bartelstone, and welcome to Crime Prevention 101.
Thank you.
Would you just tell me as much about yourself as you care to share, and what brought you to the festival today, and what you'd like to talk about with me?
Okay. Well, I love the concept of the conference, Healing Through Creativity, because not only can witnessing people being creative be healing, but also creating can be healing. So it's such a positive force. And I found that for myself. I'm a musician. And I'm also a subject in a documentary that was made about my brother, who is a singer-songwriter. His name is Rocky Erickson. And the documentary is called You're Gonna Miss Me. So they're screening the movie this afternoon. And
tell me a little bit about this movie. I noticed it in the workshop brochure.
Yeah, it's Rocky's been called one of the greatest singers in the history of rock and roll, and a very, very significant artist and person. And then got involved in drugs, and subsequently got involved. He got committed to a maximum security criminal. So-called psychiatric hospital for the criminally insane in Texas in 1969, and he was 21 years old. And Janice Joplin was a protege of Rocky's. She was a folk singer and started hanging around with him, learned how to sing rock and roll. He was very influential with his band called the 13th Floor Elevators. And then he was in this maximum security nut house, basically, and stayed there 3 years and got out, and subsequently did have some quite a lot of creative output. By 1975, Rolling Stone had said one of his songs was one of the singles of the year, that one, and a song by the Sex Pistols, and just kept proceeding, but his life sort of hit a downward spiral. And then in 2001, I became his guardian. And fortunately, today he's just enjoying a beautiful life. And the documentarian came in and started filming 2 years before I was guardian, and he was around and smart enough to just keep filming. And they filmed the guardianship hearing, and then released the movie. And then on the extras, we filmed the hearing where the guardianship was removed. And so it's a powerful movie about a person who's a great artist, but also about sort of every man, every woman who, has alcoholism in the family, has functional and dysfunctional relationships, has drug abuse, has diagnoses of mental illness, has, so it's a very universal type theme. that hopefully becomes less universal as we proceed as a human, species. But a lot of people are finding inspiration and hope and seeing that there's life after so-called, devastating mental illness. And
survivorship, for sure. That is survivorship of, as George said, there are many different kinds of survivors that healing through creativity is going to reach out to and touch.
Yes, yes.
That's fantastic. Did you have anything to do with the production of this, or are you an artist in your own right, or?
Yes. I was here last year, and I visited with the department that is training the people towards being caregivers, and healing and working with different communities with mental health issues and drug abuse issues and things like that. There's an amazing professor here named Renee Stringfellow who's extraordinary, and she's really cutting edge. And so they brought me in last year because they've made You're Gonna Miss Me a part of their syllabus in the class.
Yeah.
And
that's wonderful.
So I was here last year, and they screened the movie, and I visited with a class, and then they brought me back this year, and I visited with a class this morning, and then they're going to screen the movie this afternoon, and then I'm going to play a concert tonight because I'm a singer-songwriter also. And
is there a website where people can find out about the movie?
Yes, RockyErickson.com would be one. It's ROKY. You can Google You're Gonna Miss Me. That's YOU apostrophe RE, Gonna Miss Me, and stuff will come up about the movie. It's available on DVD. It's an award-winning movie. It won American Film Institute Award. It was nominated for Independent Spirit Award. It's a beautiful work of art as a a movie itself, but and also telling a very compelling story. And today, the midterm is about the movie in this class that Renee is teaching, and one of the assignments was for them to write letters either to me or to my brother Rocky, and so several of the students today read the letters they had written to me, which was an amazing and beautiful experience.
Summer, thank you so very much for sharing your story with us, and I appreciate it very, very much, and I hope that we can drive some traffic to your website and have other people be inspired by You're Gonna Miss Me. Thank you so much again.
Well, you're very welcome, and thanks for everything you're doing, and it's so necessary. We appreciate every positive move.
My honor.
Okay, well, here's George. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, George. You've got some wonderful guests for me. Who've we got next, George?
Okay, well, we've had a couple of people duck into the loo. And it was supposed to be Sarah Fox.
All right, well, until she comes back, let me ask you a quick question. How can people serve as volunteers at these conferences?
Whatever you want. What's that? Oh, how can they volunteer?
Yes, how can people volunteer?
Okay, all they have to do is go to the website and get in touch with us. And the biggest thing is share your ideas. We're not very hard to reach, and we share phone numbers and personal email addresses and so forth. And the big thing is just start right in. If you have an idea, we're definitely interested in it.
Fantastic. So have our people come back from the list?
I might have a fill-in.
Okay.
For you.
Okay.
Let me. Let's see. I hate to. Okay. Let me put on Vicky.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi, Vicky. Don't get scared. We're friends out here.
Okay. Great.
Vicky, tell me a little bit about yourself, as much as you're comfortable sharing, and how you got involved with Healing Through Creativity and what you're doing down there at the festival.
I got involved last year through a friend that I met in my art class in Maryland, of all places. But I live in Maryland, and I was going to my art class, and a friend of mine had heard about Healing Through Creativity through her therapist. Okay. So we got to talking, and she told me about it, and I got on the Internet and, thought it looked like a really great idea. And an idea whose time has come, I think, because so many people need to be able to express their pain and such without, maybe not even with words, but just with, art, creating things.
Are you a painter?
Yes, I am a painter.
Okay, so then
paint with oils.
So that's the medium that you, or at least one of the mediums that you are expressing your feelings through.
Very much so, yes. I've got like 4 paintings here this year, and I also had done some cards and posters for the, for sale to help raise money here. So, yeah.
Were you always an artist, or was this something that came about afterwards?
I think I got into art even when I was a little kid, just because it was something I could do that was good, and I needed something to feel good about in my life. And I had an aunt who started teaching me when I was really young, and so, yeah, I took some time off to raise my kids and stuff, but then I got back into classes and started painting again, so that's what I've been doing.
How many other artists are exhibiting at the festival?
That are visiting?
Exhibiting.
Oh, exhibiting. Oh, my goodness. Looks bunches. There's a lot of poetry here as well that's being displayed, but a lot of art as well. I don't even know how many artists. I would say maybe 20 artists, and then many, many poets. So, really cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see Sarah is here. Would you like me to get her on for you?
Sure.
All right. Well, it's nice talking to you.
Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Sarah?
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah,
Hi.
Don't go away to the bathroom or any place. We're coming right up on our last break, but I don't want you to leave because I want to talk to you very briefly when we come back. Everyone out there, we got more to come from the Healing Through Creativity Art Festival. Stay tuned.
Have you ever thought about having your own internet talk show? Well, if you said yes, then click About Us. Then click Be a Host to get more information. Or just call Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417.
Say that again?
480-294-6417. VoiceAmerica.com.
Hello, we're Mike and Susan.
Hello, I'm Catherine.
We are the March of Dimes 2008 National Ambassador family. Although Catherine was born extremely premature with many challenges, today she is a healthy 5-year-old thanks to the March of Dimes.
I'm Don Germano, Senior Vice President of Kmart Stores. Kmart is proud to support March of Dimes' mission to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Please make a donation at any Kmart or at marchforbabies.org so that one day all babies are born healthy.
After more than 17 years' experience teaching safety skills to thousands of women and men, crime prevention and personal safety expert Susan Bartelstone concluded that by thinking and responding quickly, ideally within 20 seconds, potentially violent criminal encounters can be prevented. Using techniques from many different disciplines and illustrated by 60 real-life examples and success stories, Susan shows how it's done in her new book, Think Fast and Prevent a Violent Crime: How to Respond to Danger in 20 Seconds or Less. Check out www.fightsafe.com for more information. You'll also find information there on Susan's upcoming Crime Prevention 101 personal safety teleseminars. Think fast, talk fast, fight smart would stress the many opportunities you have to deter or defuse a criminal encounter and how to use your brains instead of your muscles in a fight. Look for the new book information or sign up for Susan Bartelstone's personal safety seminars at www.fightsafe.com today. news, opinion, passion. Your voice counts. Call toll-free 1-866-472-5787. 1-866-472-5787. VoiceAmerica.com.
You're listening to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone. We invite you to share your stories, tips, or suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, and Susan will address some of these on future shows. Send your story or idea to solutions@fightsafe.com. That email address again is solutions@fightsafe.com. Now back to Crime Prevention 101 with Susan Bartelstone.
And welcome back, everybody. This is Crime Prevention 101, and we are broadcasting live from the Healing Through Creativity Festival down in West Virginia, and I'm talking now with Sarah. Sarah, just tell me a little bit about yourself, whatever you're comfortable with sharing, and what your role is down there at the festival.
I have been in recovery from and I've been starting to explain. I've had recovered from a lot of adversity, from foster care, the system, sexual abuse, and survivor of suicide by suicide attempts and gestures, because of self-injury. Still battling all that, and I'm in recovery with dealing with relationships. Not exactly call myself codependent today, though. Mm-hmm. And there is hope, because I'm alive today at age 26 and keep on finding my strength. And of course, a associate degree, and I must be an integrative therapist without the letters behind my name and respect already.
And so, what is your creative outlet?
Creative outlet? Oh, I have many.
Okay.
I baked all last night, actually.
Ah.
Too bad you can't smell the food or taste it from there. And we have Ellen's ice cream, a same thing donated this year.
Oh.
So we picked that up today. We had so I'm creative in my food, in my writing, in my speech.
And
so
are you exhibiting, or are you giving workshops or anything like that down there?
I'm just available in every way I can be. Let's see, I have a scrapbook and a binder full of writing, and an poetry anthology I called Life Lessons I did in senior English in high school.
What was the name of it?
Life Lessons.
Ah.
Poetry anthology. I created a lot of my own work, some other people's work, and a lot handwritten on stationery, very rudimentary. It was done in senior high school, and it's falling apart.
So there's a wide range of creativity down. That's what I'm loving about the whole idea of healing through creativity. That it's not, you don't have to be an expert painter. You just have to want to express yourself that way. You can bake, you can cook. What creativity, so healing in so many forms, right?
I have Sharp Hospital is one of the state hospitals from West Virginia, and I participated in an art show. We had the expressive therapist, Barbara Simmons. Okay. I have called her recently, and I have my paintings were in that, and I have newspaper clipping from where I was featured there. And,
okay.
According to the great art therapists such as Barry Kaufman, Bonnie, and Bob Simmons, I didn't know I could paint until you taught me, until I tried. I'm told that poetry doesn't always have rhyme or reason. And I guess everybody is able to do a acrostic poem, which is basically work downward and beginning letter of each thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand cooking's only following directions or straying from them when you choose to, and hope that turns out okay. It tastes good. And singing's just open up your mouth and letting your voice come out, I'm told. So the question is, are you confident? Now, I've lost some confidence lately with my personal issues. I've been battling, well, if you would be the diagnosis type, I've been battling depression, bipolar mixed episodes, extreme highs and lows. But mostly I've been battling life, and when one domain of my life goes, everything, all the hands can go downhill rather quickly.
Well, I think that that's what's so important about something like healing through creativity, because it is a safe place where people can connect with each other and know that they're not alone in those battles, and that everyone's fighting or has fought them. And I think that must be enormously beneficial for you to be there today. And I thank you so much for being so honest and open, because people out there that are listening are going to take heart from your honesty and about your struggles, because they're there too. Thank you, Sarah, so very much. And if George is around, I want to thank him again one more time. We're getting ready to close the show, so I want to say goodbye to him also. Thank you so much again.
On the phone, or?
Yes, George, you're there.
Not me. He's talking, but sure. I talked to Jerome once, and George.
That's what I love about this format.
Hold on. Who am I talking to anyhow?
Thank you so much, Sarah. Very, very much.
Okay. Here's George.
George, we're coming down to the close. I want to thank you so very much. Just any final comments you want to make to the audience out there, to my listeners, to you out there?
Yes. Let's see. Somebody asked about the number of participants.
Yes.
And we've received visual displays from 119 people, and possibly some more will come in, because we don't really have deadlines. We don't have a bureaucracy. And any rule can be bent and broken because we don't really believe in them except for not abusing people. And that doesn't count performers or presenters.
Excellent.
On the 119.
You know what, George? Next year I'm going to do this again, and I want to hear you tell me we have 5,000 people.
Wow.
Festival, all right? And if I can help you make that come about, I am more than happy to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm closing out my show now, and I will be in touch with you. And I want a message that I always say to any survivors that are listening to me today. Please understand that nothing that happened to you was your fault. We're going to say it over and over and over and over again until you can't help but realize it. Even if you think you used bad judgment in a situation and left yourself vulnerable, that is never an excuse for crime or violence or for anything else. And it's really important that you call yourself a survivor and not a victim, and understand that with proper help and proper support, traditional or non-traditional, you can put what happened into perspective and get on with your life. And if anyone would like to hear some of the past shows, especially the other shows on non-traditional ways of healing, they're all archived on my voiceamerica.com host page. You can also just go to www.crimeprevention101.com, and that will take you directly to my host page. I've also got show notes for all my shows posted on my personal website, dearsafetysolutions.com. And I'm going to have a link to the website, healingthroughcreativity.org. We want that 5,000 people there next year. and you can get information about them and make donations and participate in the forums and so forth. You can also email them, info@healingthroughcreativity.org. Also, don't forget to go to my safety tip page on my Dear Safety Solutions webpage, because I'm going to have a list of resources for you that you can find over the internet, and some tips that other survivors have written about that help them in their recovery. Also, if you would like to ask me a question, if you have a comment about the show or any show, if you've got a suggestion for a future show topic, if you've got a safety concern you'd like me to help you with, just email me, solutions@fightsafe.com, or you can post it on my website. There's a box there. I've got some great shows coming up. I've got an exciting author who survived physical abuse growing up and emotional abuse by making challenges for herself and her lifestyle. I'm going to be doing more live broadcasts coming up. Oh, my God, there's just so much good stuff. So you know what I say? It would be a crime not to listen. So stay tuned and stay safe.
We hope you got some useful information and inspiration this week on Crime Prevention 101. Susan Bartelstone invites you to join us again next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on Voice America. Have a great weekend and a safe weekend.